So, namaste and good evening, everyone. So, this is our fourth session of Yogaarthi, and we are glad that we started this initiative in the month of January, where we decided that we would be having a lecture every month for all of us who are all yoga enthusiasts, yogaarthis. And we are a group of people who are deeply interested in knowing more about yoga. Some of us are yoga teachers, some of us are researchers, some of us are students, some of us are yoga practitioners. So that is what we are, Jyoti Tai. And in this month, fourth session, everyone, we are having Dr. Jyoti Shirodkar as our guest speaker. So I know her for quite a few years now, and we have been associated with each other in different contexts at different occasions. So that's why I am calling her Jyoti Tai. So Dr. Jyoti Shirodkar, to introduce her to you, it's my pleasure and honor both. So she's an Ayurvedic physician and practicing for more than 25 years now, and she specializes in diabetes. So she is also a member of the National Core Committee, which is a 7 members committee under the Ministry of Ayush, which formed a national protocol on Ayurveda for diabetes in 2016. Recently, Jyoti Tai also published her book, which is Arogya Taranga in Marathi. She also is an academician. She's also a practicing physician, and in addition to that, she's also an entrepreneur. So she also has a range of health products, and I also use one of those products very regularly, the Atta. Okay, so she is also an entrepreneur. She worked as an honorary associate professor of Ayurvedic pharmacology in Tirak Ayurved Mahavidyalaya, Pune. Then also a faculty for the students of European Academy of Ayurveda for advanced course in Ayurveda since 2008 till date. She has worked as a researcher with KM Hospital Diabetes Unit, and also at various other institutions. She was also working or is working as Ayush Associate on COVID-19 related project funded by Ayush Ministry in Symbiosis Hospital and Research Center, Pune. So that is her brief introduction for all of you. I would also like to mention that she has done her BAMS, of course, then MD, then PhD. She has also done her BA in entire Sanskrit, and she has also done her MA in entire Russian. Okay, so that is Dr. Jyoti Shirodkar. So thank you, Jyoti Tai, for coming. And she's going to talk to us about seasons and cuisines. So what Ayurveda has to say about seasons and cuisines. Okay, so over to you, Jyoti Tai. Thank you.
Thank you, Sucheta. And very good evening to everybody. Very nice to see you all, meet you all in this Zoom meeting. Yes, of course, today I'm going to talk about seasons and cuisines. Before starting my subject, I'll just tell you a story. One day, in the month of August, a person came to me. She's a female. She just walked in my clinic, the cabin, and she was complaining of severe headache. It was a month of, I think, August, September, or I'll say the season of October heat It was a post-monsoon period a little bit. And she was complaining every year in this season, I get these recurrent headaches and they are severe. I am unable to open my eyes or go out in the sun without my goggles. When I checked her, I could see she was of Pitta Prakriti. Her routine, her lifestyle, her diet, everything. She used to have soups, salads, pickles. She was very much fond of eating spicy food. And of course, as I said, she was of Pitta Prakriti. Plus, uh, as per her Prakriti, she was also short tempered, very anxious, and very ambitious. Now, why I'm describing this particular patient or patient of mine, how the body constitution, the season, and the food correlate with each other. They add to each other. The effects are added in one another. When I examined her, I immediately came to know there is a Pitta Prakop in her body. Why it should be? Because she is of Pitta Prakriti. The post-monsoon season, we call it as Sharad Rutu, was the season of Pitta Prakop, and the food which she was following, spicy, hot, chatpata, everything, is known to increase Pitta. And that's why she used to get recurrent headaches because of acidity, because of Pitta Prakop in her body. Now, if such patient goes to any doctor, what will they prescribe? Some antacid. I can see 2-3 doctors in this group, so I can use few terms like they use H2 blockers or antacids or some common drugs. But with these drugs, the acidity and the headaches could not get cured. Again and again, every year, the same episode used to happen. And so, actually, I had to sit with her for half an hour to 40 minutes and explain her why this is happening. I tried to explain her, yes, I will give you the medicine. It will give you relief from your headaches, from your acidity and other things. But we need to know why is it happening. And that is how our counseling session started first. And then it came to the treatment part. The same thing I'm going to repeat in front of you. We need to know about the seasons. I'll just start my presentation. I have made a few slides just to get clear picture. I think I'll have to take help of my daughter. Please bear for a minute. I'm rejoining, Sucheta.
अरे की नाही जगह अच्छा कोबम नहीं है
to have slides so that everybody can get the broad picture. Seasons and cuisines. In Ayurveda, there are 6 seasons in the year are described. Which are those seasons? We'll just have a look first. In the under the heading of Rutucharya, what is Rutucharya? Let me explain you. Rutu means season, Charya means regime. What you should eat, what you should follow, what should be your lifestyle, what type of exercise you should do as per the season. Everything that guidance come under Rutucharya. Rutu is season. So for each season, a particular regime is described. In English, we can say as seasonal regime. So this picture, actually this must have distorted, but this picture is of 6 seasons. Which are those 6 seasons? First is Grishma. In Pune, now we are having Grishma Rutu, hot summer. Then comes Varsha Rutu or rainy season, when sky is full of clouds. Then comes Sharad Rutu, post-monsoon season, or we can say October heat season. Then comes Hemant Rutu, or we can call it as fall. After that comes winter, that is Shishira Rutu. And after that comes spring, Vasant Rutu. So these are the 6 seasons which are described in Ayurveda. Here is a simple Rutu Chakra I am showing to you. The months of the every season, they actually vary geographically. For example, if we see monsoon in June and July in Maharashtra, in south it comes little early. In the month of May end, and at that time in Delhi or in north till July or till late June, the summer is still going on. So actually the time of the year or month of the year for a particular season varies as per the geographical location. But we have to see the signs of each season, and accordingly we have to follow seasonal regime. When summer is very hot, there is dry climate everywhere, just like it is in Maharashtra. Now it is going on, temperature has crossed 40s. It is Grishma Rutu. When the sky is full of clouds, continuous monsoon is there in India, you can call it as rainy season or Varsha Rutu. After the post-monsoon period, the October heat starts. It is actually from August end to October end, or mid-August to mid-October. That is called as Sharad Rutu. After Sharad Rutu, when Diwali starts, right from mid-October to mid-December, that is in general in Maharashtra is Hemanta Rutu. That is the season of fall. After that, from mid-December to mid-February starts, or it is actually of Shishira Rutu, means winter. Of course, in Maharashtra or in South, we don't see those harsh winters as we see in Europe or America or the parts of North in India. But winter Rutu means, Shishira Rutu means winter. And after that, when new saplings arrive, new leaflets arrive on the trees, that is of Vasanta Rutu or spring. So as per the signs of each season, we need to understand what season is going on in a particular area where we are living. Now this is seasonal pyramid. First pyramid or left sided pyramid, it is called as Adana Kal. What does it mean? Let me explain it to you. Here, strength of the body reduces gradually. In Shishira or winter, it gets reduced to quite a bit. Then in Vasanta, it further reduces, and Grishma, the strength of the body is lowest strength. After comes Varsha Rutu, and here again you start gaining strength. Why? Because the temperatures, they come down. Cold breeze is outside, and at that time, all catabolic processes in the body, they are actually, they slow down. This is Varsha Rutu. Then comes Sharad. Again, you get the strength increases. It increases than Varsha Rutu. And then comes Hemant or fall. This is the best season of the year because it is said that nature, Mother Nature, gives you strength. You are full of natural strength. Your body is at its peak of the health. The vegetables, the fruits, and whatever you get from Prakriti or nature, they are of full nutrients, full of nutrients. And so nature gives you the strength in many ways. This is called as Visarga Kal. Varsha, Sharad, Hemanta, roughly from June, July, August, September, October, November, June to November, or 15th June to 15th December, roughly. This is called as Visarga Kal. And after that, Shishira Rutu starts, say mid-December. Shishira Rutu starts from Shishira to Vasanta to Grishma. Gradually, the strength reduces. Now, I am saying strength gets reduced, slowly reduces. Exactly what happens in the body. Let's see. Because unless I explain you the body condition, you won't be able to understand why is a particular cuisine, particular diet recipe, particular type of food is important, is suggested for that particular season. I want to take you through Tridoshas. Ayurveda says there are three humors or three doshas in the body: Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Vata means kinetic energy of the body. It is responsible for all the body movements, diffusion, transportation, peristalsis, excretion, or what you can say, breathing, everything, or heart, movement of the heart, circadian rhythm, everything. The movement in the body is Vata dosha is responsible for all the body movements. Then comes Pitta dosha or heat energy of the body, which is responsible for digestion, for transformation. Now we know digestion of food occurs in the gastrointestinal tract, but there is minute digestion process takes place in each and every cell of the body. And so wherever energy is required, heat energy is required, Pitta dosha is there. And lastly, Kapha dosha, you can say it is a building material, or it gives strength to the body. It keeps the whole body intact, or you can say potential energy of the body. Now, these three are the doshas. Actually, they are humors, they are energies. But when these energies get imbalanced, then we call it as doshas because they are capable of producing the disease. Now, why do these doshas become imbalanced or they get aggravated? Because of certain food, certain lifestyle, because of age, because of diurnal variations, that is natural. And that is why there are ups and downs in the level of doshas. Actually, seasons also have impact on the doshas. Let us see. I'll go to the previous slide, this one. Now you see, when Varsha Rutu is there, Varsha Rutu, Vata dosha gets predominant. When Sharad Rutu is there, Pitta dosha gets predominant. When Vasanta Rutu is there, Kapha dosha gets predominant. We call it as prakopa of the doshas or aggravation of the doshas. Then what about rest of the seasons? In Grishma Rutu, no dosh gets predominant, no dosha gets aggravated, but it actually sows the seed of Vata Prakop, which happens in Varsha Rutu. I'll tell you how. Then in Hemanta also and Shishira also, there is no Prakop, no aggravation of doshas in these two seasons, but in these seasons, the seed of Kapha Prakop is sown, which gets aggravated in Vasanta Rutu. So this is the relation of each and every season with each other, with the doshas. And accordingly, there are certain physiological changes occur in our body. Why do we need to understand seasons? Why do we need to understand what changes happen due to each and every season or in each and every season in our body? Because seasons do impact physiologically and it changes the attributes in our body. Now I'll tell you what is attribute. So attribute means, for example, Ayurveda has a concept of attribute. Ushna Shita or Snigdha Ruksha. Ushna means hot, Shita means cold. These are two attributes. Ruksha and Snigdha, unctuous and dry. Like this, there are 10 pairs of attributes, and whole Ayurvedic science is based on these attributes. For example, we say in Grishma Rutu, when summer is hot, it is Ushna attribute in the body, but at the same time, dry attribute is also there in the body. So when Varsha Rutu starts, Ushna attribute changes to Shita attribute, hot changes to cold, but dry attribute along with cold attribute, they aggravate Vata dosha in Varsha Rutu. So this is how there are changes in the attributes of the body, attributes of the external living beings, and this is how changes in our body take place. I'll give you one example. If you eat vegetable, say for example, if you eat green leafy vegetables in summer and in rainy season. In rainy season, there is lot of water content in the vegetables, but in summer they are dry. Similarly, inside our body, comparative increase of dry attribute is there in summer, but watery part or fluid part increases in Varsha Rutu or rainy season. And this is how it actually is responsible for aggravation of doshas. Now, why Rutu and Rutucharya is important for us? To balance the doshas, to prevent the dosha prakop, and to treat the disease. Before any type of pharmaceutical treatment or treatment with medicines, Ayurveda gives you guidance for lifestyle, guidance for diet, guidance for exercise. And if you are in tune with the nature, you can balance these doshas. Even if there is natural variation, natural aggravation of doshas, you can balance them with proper food, proper lifestyle. And what proper means? As per the attributes. For example, in cold season, if you want to combat cold, you can use hot attribute. If you want to combat dry attribute, you have to use unctuous or say oily, fatty things like fatty oil massage or little bit of fatty food, ghee, oil in your diet, like that. And then you prevent dosha prakop with the help of diet, lifestyle, and other things. Of course, medicines come in the last, but this is natural or seasonal regime, I will say. And if any problem occurs, like in my case, in my patient, when she walked into my clinic with the Pitta Prakop symptoms, you have to treat the disease. Of course, I will treat her with the medicines, but for prevention, for the same episode not to occur next year, I will teach her how to take care of her health through diet, lifestyle, and through exercise as per the seasonal regime of Sharad Ritu. Is this clear till now? If yes, please raise your thumbs. Please thumbs up. If it is clear. Thank you. Thank you. I'll go ahead. What is disease? Disease itself is dis-ease or discomfort. Discomfort occurs naturally. Discomfort occurs due to our own things, own food, own lifestyle, own diet. And that is why, as per all these seasons, we have to adjust ourselves to the nature. Grishma, Varsha, Sharad, Hemanta, Shishira, and Vasanta. Grishma means hot summer. Varsha means rainy season, June, July, roughly, of course. Sharad means August, September, mid-October. Hemanta means October to December. Shishira means Jan, Feb, roughly. And Vasanta means Feb, March, April, mid-Feb to mid-April. All these 6 seasons, we can see them in the same order in India. Now you will say sometimes actually we can see rains, heavy rains in the other than the rainy season. Yes, this also occurs, and they have described it as Rutu Viparyaya. When in a particular season, the signs of that particular season are not observed, we call it as Rutu Viparyaya. Then you will ask me what regime we should follow. If in winter, if you see the signs of rainy season, you have to follow Varsha Rutucharya or the seasonal regime which you follow in rainy season. In hot summer, if you see the signs of rainy season, yes, in summer also we have to follow the Rutucharya of Varsha. If winters are not very cold, they show the signs of summer, you have to follow the regime of summer season. Here you have to apply your Satsat Viveka Buddhi or your logic, and then you can follow the seasonal regime. So far, you must have understood what is the importance of seasonal regime. You must have understood Adan and Visarga Kal. Now, I will give you one example. What kind of disease or discomfort you face due to a particular season? Just a minute. For example, Vasanta Rutu. In Vasanta Rutu, I'll again go back to that my chart so that it will be in front of your eyes. Let us start from Grishma, because right now Grishma is going on. In Grishma Rutu, due to hot summer, you get burning sensation, burning of urine, perspiration, and that is why you suffer from certain rashes, gamoria aati hai. So actually, you have to follow certain things as per Grishma Rutu. In Varsha Rutu, many people suffer from the signs of Vata Prakop, that is joint pain or asthmatic attacks. So at that time, to prevent these things, you have to follow the regime of Varsha Rutu. In Sharad Rutu, you many a times, especially Pitta Prakriti people, suffer from hyperacidity. In Shishira Rutu again, some kind of dryness, some kind of skin rashes or skin dryness, utter dryness of skins and joint pain. In Vasanta Rutu, there is a hype of viral infections. You can see like chicken pox, measles, herpes, or certain flu-like symptoms, they actually appear in Vasanta Rutu. How will you prevent them? Let us see what to eat, what not to eat, what to follow as per season. Now, as I said, in Grishma Rutu, season is hot, there is a dryness, there is a water loss. You should have your food which is light to digest, which will have cooling effect. You can eat plenty of fresh fruits, milk, curd, buttermilk, everything. Fruit juices, sharbats like khas, rose, everything. To combat with the heat, you should use all the food which has got cold attribute. Just like in our body, we have 10 pairs of attribute we can see, hot and cold. Outside our body also, food also contains attribute. So you will have coconut water, you can have those tadgolas, you can have kharbuja, tarbuja, all those fruits which have ample of water content, you can use in Grishma Rutu. Secondly, all the things which are sour in taste, amla rasam, like green curry, green mangoes, pickles are made out of them, kokum, berries, all you can have in Grishma Rutu without any problem. Without any problem means I will come to Varsha Rutu and will tell you what problem you can have if the same thing you have in Varsha Rutu. Then in Karnataka or in Konkan, people have ambil made from ragi. Ragi has cold attribute. So nachanichi ambil we call it as, or some preparation made from ragi, as ragi has cold attribute, we use it in Grishma Rutu. Similarly, jawar. Jawar can be used in Grishma Rutu because it has cold attribute. So the recipes made from rice, ragi, jawar, then you can use coriander, you can use jeera, you can use dhana, means coriander seeds, cumin seeds. They all have heat reducing properties and we can consume them in Grishma Rutu. Now from Grishma, we come to rainy season or Varsha Rutu. As I have told you, in Varsha Rutu, it is a season of Vata Prakop. Why? Because due to cold attribute or seasonal cold of Varsha Rutu plus dry attribute, which is actually accumulated in Grishma, that cold and dry attribute increases Vata dosha in our body. It causes Vata Prakop in our body. It is responsible for many type of joint pains, flu-like symptoms, asthmatic attacks. Then what to do? What happens with Agni? Agni is a digestive power in our body. In Ayurveda, we call that digestive power as Agni. In Varsha Rutu, Agni is not that good. We call it as Agni Mandya, means hypofunctioning of Agni or suboptimal digestive system, digestive power. And in this season, we have to eat that type of food which is easy to digest, number one, which will increase or help increasing Agni, or which will help in improving the digestion, number two. Number three, it should have hot attribute. It should have Anktas attribute. And then what will you have? You can have various types of soups, dal khichdi, anything which is hot, which is cooked nicely, which is semi-solid, like idli sambar, dal khichdi, or you can say upma or pasta, which is hot, cooked. You can eat in Varsha Rutu. If you think of eating salads, raw salads in Varsha Rutu or rainy season, oh my God, you are caught there. Because you may suffer from lot of digestion problems, from diarrhea or from colitis or from joint pains or many other things. You can't eat dry salad in this season. You have to eat hot. But remember, along with hot recipes, along with cooked food, steaming hot food, you have to consume that type of food which is easy to digest. Why? Again, I have said because of hypofunctioning of Agni. If you decide I'll have chicken curry and I'll have non-veg in this season, then it's gone. Because your Agni is not that ready to digest that non-veg or heavy proteins in Varsha Rutu. And that is why we have Chaturmas in Varsha and Sharad, in these two seasons, when Agni power or power of Agni or digestion is not very good, you have to avoid non-veg. And that is why that season of Chaturmas comes in these seasons. Then you go to Sharad Rutu. Sharad Rutu means Pitta Prakop, the season of Pitta Prakop. Hot attribute inside your body increases. In Varsha, actually, slowly you go from dry attribute to fluid part. Your fluid part starts accumulating in the body, and in Sharad Rutu, hot plus fluid attribute both increase, and they increase Pitta dosha in the body. Pitta means there are two types of Pitta dosha. Either there is dry heat or there is lot of increasing fluid part, fluidity of the Pitta. And that actually happens in Sharad Rutu. So we suffer from Amla Pitta, like acidity. People actually suffer from vomiting, from nausea, from headaches. Even in Sharad Rutu, we say there is a vitiation or there is derangement of blood. Heat in the blood increases, hot attribute in the blood increases, and you get number of skin diseases and skin rashes in Sharad Rutu. Now, what to eat in Sharad Rutu? We advise eat lot of coriander, lot of cumin seeds, coriander seeds, lot of coconut you can have, puffed grains. They help in reducing Pitta dosha. What is puffed grain? Like Rajgira, like puffed jawar, or say puffed rice. Kheel, you must, those who don't know Saricha Laya, we call in Marathi, in Hindi it is called as kheel. लक्ष्मी जी की पूजा में जो इस्तेमाल किया जाता है, जो राइस फ्लेक्स होता है और पफ्ड राइस होता है, उसको खील बोलते हैं, उसको मराठी में साड़ीचा लाया बोलते हैं. That helps in reducing hot and fluid attribute of Pitta, which is actually aggravated in Sharad Rutu. In Sharad Rutu, it comes Naradi Purnima or Raksha Bandhan, when we make Naradi Bhat or coconut rice. That helps actually to reduce Pitta part in your body. Ganesh Chaturthi also comes in Sharad Rutu. At that time, we make Modaka. Modakas from coconut and rice. Both coconut and rice, they reduce Pitta or hot attribute of Pitta dosha. So, you can have puffed grains, you can have lot of coriander, you can have lot of coconut water, not coconut water I'll say, but coconut, to reduce Pitta. But if you eat or if you consume soups like tomato soup, Chinese, or imli ki chutney, all the salty things are those things are going to affect Pitta or increase or aggravate Pitta dosha in your body in Sharad Rutu. Then we go to Hemanta. Hemanta, as I said, it is the best part of the year. Nature gives you strength. All the हम कहते हैं सृष्टि सब सुजलाम सुफलाम होती है और वो आपको एक बल देती है, एक strength देती है. So what should you eat in Hemant Rutu? Eat lot of non-veg, eat lot of spicy and chatpata, eat lot of proteins, because if you just eat roti, sabji, dal, chawal, it is not sufficient to give you strength, because Agni, your digestive power is at its peak. You feel hungry, you can't skip breakfast because Agni is very strong in Hemant Rutu, and you have to really give some ahuti of high calorie diet to that Agni in Hemant Rutu. So eat nicely, exercise nicely, expand nicely. This is the season where you can do very nice physical exercise to gain strength, to gain muscle mass. And that is why in India we give gun ke laddu, urad ke laddu, moong dal ke laddu, all full of proteins they have advised. Even our culture, our tradition advises gon ke laddu and moong ke laddu and urad dal ke laddu in Hemant Rutu. And even non-veg is eaten in Hemant Rutu in ample amounts. But remember, you should support all this regime, this food regime, by exercise. You should do a lot of exercise and gain strength, which will be helpful for you throughout the year. After Hemant comes Shishira Rutu. Here is Visarga Kal, means means nature gives you strength. This is Adana Kal. Nature takes out strength from you. सृष्टि आपसे बल को छीन लेती है और वो धीरे धीरे छीनती है. हेमंत के बाद शिशिर आता है. Shishira Rutu means dry attribute and cold attribute. So slowly everything becomes dry. पेड़ है वो निष्पर्ण हो जाते हैं. पानी का जो अंश होता है धरित्री में वो खत्म हो जाता है. You get cracks in the skin. Those who have, you get, even people get dry cough in Shishir Rutu. Many arthritic patients get joint pains. Their joint pains are aggravated. What should you do? Diet is same like Hemant Rutu, but you have to provide fats or oil externally also. Do regular oil massage along with the food. Oil massages help in Shishir Rutu to combat that dryness and cold. After that comes Vasant Rutu, the season of Kapha Prakopa. In this season, whatever cough is accumulated in Hemant and Shishira Rutu, it gets aggravated, or Kapha Prakopa is there due to hot scorching rays of February and March. This is the favorable season for various kind of viral infections. And actually school going children, they suffer from measles and from, say, what you can say, chicken pox. Many people get herpes. And this is favorable season. I will tell you one Sanskrit line. Vaidyanam Sharadi Mata Pitta cha Kusuma Karaha. Vasant and Sharad, just see. Vaidyanam Sharadi Mata. Sharad Rutu is doctors or Vaidya's mother. And Vasant Rutu is Vaidya's, means Vaidya means Ayurvedic doctor. Ayurvedic doctor's father. Not just Ayurvedic doctors, for each and every doctor, Sharada is a Mata and Vasant Rutu is a Pitta. Why? Why they have said so? Because your mother and father feed you. In Sharad Rutu, there is an aggravation of lot of diseases. Also in Vasant Rutu, many diseases occur. So many patients walk in doctor's clinic and there is a good amount of earnings. And that is why we say, Vaidyanam Sharadi Mata Pitta cha Kusuma Kara. Kusuma Kara means Vasant Rutu. So these are the 6 seasons. Now what should you eat in Vasant Rutu? First thing, immediately after Shishira Rutu or after cold season, scorching heat starts and you feel like having something cold. Cold waters, refrigerated waters, some ice creams or fruits, and here we are caught. Never start anything which is cold in Vasant Rutu, though outside temperatures start increasing, start rising. Why? Give some chance, give some opportunity to your body to get adjusted with the changing season. Even if there is hot outside, don't start cold waters, don't start cold water baths, don't start swimming. Instead, you can continue to have warm waters. You can continue to have warm food. Don't switch over to ice creams and curds and buttermilks. No, immediately you will catch throat infection. So because Vasanta Ritu is favorable for viral infections. Now I want to tell you one thing. Last year in 2021, March and April was the worst months. These 2 months were worst months in the history of world, because there was a COVID outbreak. Why? Especially in Vasanta Ritu, March and April, or I'll say mid-February to mid-April, the time of Vasanta Ritu, when actually all viruses get activated. And it was a favorable season for viral multiplication. And the same season, we have seen the severe outbreak of COVID, which actually continued in May and June. But this can be the possible explanation for that. Then what you should eat. So don't start cold things immediately. No cold waters, no ice creams, no cold water baths, no swimming. But instead you can have warm waters. You can use roasted grains. In Marathi, we call it as thalipit or thalipit bhajani. If you start eating roasted grains, they help in balancing aggravated kapha dosha. You can have garlic, ginger, like things like spices, black pepper, that helps you in reducing kapha dosha. You should have the food which is lighter to digest, because again your agni goes down. It actually functions suboptimally. And at that time, you should choose the food which is easy to digest, which will not increase kapha dosha. So simple dal khichdi, simple roti sabji, simple things, they are allowed in Vasanta Ritu. Or we can say roasted grains. If you want to have non-veg, prefer grilled chicken, but no seafood at all in Vasanta Ritu, which will aggravate kapha dosha in your body. The attribute of seafood is hot. Should avoid seafood in Vasanta Ritu. And then comes Grishma. We have started from Grishma, went to Varsha, Sharad, Hemanta, then Shishira and Vasanta. I think I have covered all the seasons. If we take care of our food, our diet, our lifestyle as per the season, if we get in tune with the nature, definitely we will be able to prevent dosha prakop and dosha prakopajanya vyadhi. I'll explain you. If we can balance doshas through these remedies, through seasonal regime, we won't suffer from any diseases, which actually happen naturally due to natural aggravation of these doshas. And that is the first pillar of prevention, first pillar of maintaining health. Thank you very much. If anybody has any questions, please, they are welcome.
So if you have any questions, then you can raise your hand. You can use the reactions button to raise your hand. Yes. Who's that? Go ahead. Upadhyay. Okay.
नमस्कार.
नमस्कार.
हा मराठीत विचारलं तरी चालेल ना?
अगदी विचारा, काही हरकत नाही.
मला असं विचारायचं होतं की असं कुठलं म्हणजे कुठली गोष्ट आहे का जी आपण कायम 12 महिने खाऊ शकतो, इररिस्पेक्टिव्ह ऑफ द सीझन?
हो. गहू, तांदूळ, हिरवे मूग, मूगडाळ, भेंडी, दुधी, पडवळ, दोडका, घोसाळं या भाज्या नक्की खाऊ शकता. काही होत नाही.
थँक्यू.
ज्योतिताई, तो स्क्रीन शेअर हे करता येईल का? म्हणजे मला ना हँड रेज ऑप्शन सगळ्यांचा बघता येईल.
येस.
ओके. Now, I would actually like to ask one question, and that question, Jyotita, is about fasting. So, what is your view or what Ayurveda says about fasting? So, in general, about fasting and also about these things like intermittent fasting and 18/6 and 12/12 and whatever. So, yes.
I'll tell you. This is a very good question, Sucheta. Fasting for fitness. I have written one book called Ayurveda Taranga, in which I have dedicated one chapter for fasting. And the title of that chapter is Fasting for Fitness. Just remember, fasting is for fitness, but which type of fast one can do? As I explained to you, there are prakrutis, Vata Prakriti, Pitta Prakriti, and Kapha Prakriti as per the dosha dominance. Few people can tolerate fasting, few people can't. One person may be able to keep fast throughout the day or for 24 hours, whereas other person who has Pitta Prakriti, he won't be able to survive more than 3 hours without any food or water. So fasting, the definition of fasting differs from person to person. What is fasting? You should eat less or lesser than generally what you eat usually. But to what extent you should fast, it depends on your prakriti and your tolerance. And accordingly, you have to design your fast. Now, intermittent fasting. Yes, there is a lot of research going on world over. Intermittent fasting helps. But nowadays, a person who is continuously on his toes, doing various duties from morning to night, if you ask him to do intermittent fasting, or secondly, if you just ask him to eat just twice a day within 55 minutes and don't eat anything, it may not be possible for him, because he has to continuously spend his energy in doing something, and his caloric requirement is high, or he will need small but frequent feeds to keep up his energy. In such case, they should eat smaller portion at regular time intervals. That is also fasting. Secondly, they should decide what they will eat. For example, okay, they are feeling hungry every 3 hours, every 3 to 4 hours. This doesn't mean कि सवेरे नाश्ता हुआ, फिर 11 साढ़े 11 बजे समोसा खा लिया, 1 बजे खाना खा लिया, 5 बजे भूख लगी थी, चाय पी ली, फिर क्रीम रोल खा लिया, या फिर भेलपुरी खा ली, रात में खाना खा लिया वापस. This is not the case. Though their requirement is high, they should decide what will they eat and what will they avoid. I call it as a type of fasting only. So if they are having 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, mid-meal should be lighter. They are just for giving energy or push for their another activities. That's it.
ज्योतिताई, अजून एक विचारायचं होतं. वी कॉल की गहू इज नॉट इंडियन ग्रेन, म्हणजे टू बी ऑनेस्ट. आणि काही वेळेला असं होतं की डाएट प्लॅन देताना लोक विचारतात की पोळी खाल्ली तर चालेल का, किंवा काही वेळेला काही लोकांना पोळीने खूप हेवीनेस होतो, पण भाकरी खावीशी वाटत नाही, पण ती चांगली आहे म्हणून उगीच खातोय असं वाटतं काही जणांना. सो गहू किती सजेस्ट करावा, म्हणजे रोजच पोळी खाली तर चालू शकेल का नाही?
मला एक गोष्ट सगळ्यांना सांगायची आहे. आय वॉन्ट टू एम्फसाइज, गहू इज Indian grain. It is a nutritious grain. Don't underestimate gahu at all. Don't underestimate wheat. Ayurveda says, since ancient times or Ayurvedic times, wheat is described, and they have said wheat is the most nutritious grain, which will actually nourish all 7 type of tissues in the body. Rasa, Rakta, Mausa, Meda, Asti, Majja, Shukra. All 7 types of tissues can be nourished with the wheat. That is number 1. Wheat can be eaten throughout the year. Now, problem is we are just eating wheat, and that is the problem. See, If you just eat one and only one grain, it is going to give you trouble. So, though we love gahu, though it is nourishing, we should eat jwari also, bajra also, ragi also, millets also. But if you replace millets or if you replace wheat by millets, it is going to cause undernourishment problems in the next generation at least. Millets are not to be eaten throughout the year. They are regarded as kshudra dhanya in Ayurveda. Kshudra dhanya means they don't have that capacity to nourish all the 7 type of dhatus in the body. Only wheat can nourish, but nothing should be in excess. You should balance all the grains and eat. Now, then people ask you while dieting, should I eat gehu or not? I will say, if you have eaten wheat throughout your life, live for few months. It will create good change in your body. Instead of that, you can have jowar or bajra. For a certain time period, say 6 months, 8 months, if you stop gehu and eat other grains, then those deficiencies will be taken care of. Then again start gehu, but at that time eat gehu once, then bajra once, then jawar once, ragi once, and according to season. Like in hot season, you can eat ragi and jawar. In winter season, you should eat bajra. Gehu you should substitute in between. Not a single grain throughout, for sure.
Yes, thank you, Jyotita. Ruchita is asking, Jyotitai, what is the relevance of being vegan? Is it advisable for diabetics?
Yes. See, in diabetes, any type of food, if you leave or if you stop for a while, it cut down your calories and it is going to help you, for sure. Means even if you become vegan or you stop dairies, your calories cut down, your food choices go down, and automatically your sugar actually is taken care of. Especially in obese type 2 diabetes, and of course in thin type 2 diabetes also, stopping dairy products help in controlling blood glucose levels, for sure. So it's better to stop or reduce dairy products. ऐसे सोच लो कि अभी तक बहुत ज्यादा खाना हुआ है, बॉडी टॉलरेट नहीं कर रही है, तो बस बंद ही कर दो कुछ दिन के लिए और कुछ महीनों के लिए. फिर in between, once in a while, if you have, no problem will be there. But initially you have to stop completely to nullify that effect of excess. And if you want to become vegan and you are enjoying it, become vegan. If it is giving you some benefits, why not? It doesn't mean that it will help each and every person, of course. See, understand what suits you. That is more important.
Vaijantitai?
Yes, the lecture was very interesting, certainly. And I'm happy that I could attend it. And thanks, Jyotitai, for that. मला एक प्रश्न असा आहे की मी असं वाचण्यात आलंय माझं कुठेतरी की ज्वारी ही विथ एज ड्रायनेस शरीरामध्ये वाढवते. आणि आपल्याकडे माहितीये तुम्हाला काही क्षेत्र अशी आहेत की ज्या क्षेत्रामध्ये ज्वारीचंच उत्पन्न आहे आणि लहानपणापासून ज्वारी हा प्रमुख खाद्य म्हणून जेवणात वापरला जातो. आणि जर ते क्षेत्र बदललं असेल कालांतराने तर त्याचा काही परिणाम होऊ शकतो का? आणि ज्वारीच्या संदर्भात स्पेशली मला सांगितलं होतं की विथ एज ड्रायनेस इन्क्रीजेस इन द बॉडी इफ यू कन्झ्युम मोर ऑफ ज्वार.
वैजुताई, एक सांगते मी तुम्हाला, जवार and bajra both are dry. Both are millets and millets are generally dry. So there is a system or custom. We eat jawar bhakri or bajra roti with lot of ghee or butter. Why? To adjust with that dryness, to reduce the dryness which comes with these millets.
Okay.
So लोण्या बरोबर भाकरी खा, तुपा बरोबर खा. Why do we say? Because to combat that dryness, we eat these things. Now, If a person is very, you can say, fat or obese, he already has lot of fats in his body, and he should eat jawar or bajra without ghee or say butter. But
Hmm.
if you are using it for a long term, one point will come when that excess fats, those excess fats, they decrease with the age, with the long term consumption. And at that time, you should eat jawar or bajra with ghee or butter.
Okay.
So how long do you consume? What is your age? All these factors are important.
Absolutely. Okay. Thanks for the clarification.
My pleasure.
Anita, you need to unmute.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So very interesting, very excellent lecture. मला एक असा प्रश्न विचारायचा आहे की या सीझन मध्ये उष्णता वाढते, सो हातापायाची जळजळ होणं किंवा डोळ्यांची जळजळ, सो या गोष्टींसाठी काय करता येईल आपल्याला?
सांगते, ही जी उष्णता वाढते, that is due to dryness. The fluid part in your body reduces. So have plenty of fluids in the form of water, watermelon, coconut water, neera, various. I won't advise sharbat because it contains lot of sugar. And in these days when we have sedentary lifestyle, we don't really need those amount of sugars. But you can have coriander juice also. And simple way, apply Kailash Jivan on your palms and soles. That helps. Have tulsi bee, sabja bee, you can have that also.
Okay. Let me just see if we have any. Can we eat multigrain? One of the questions.
Why not? See, our Indian recipes, they already have multigrain preparations. साधी भाजणी बघा, त्याच्यात कितीतरी सिरियल्स अँड पल्सेस असतात. डाळ खिचडी बघा, डाळ तांदळाशिवाय खिचडी होतच नाही. Right? So you can use multigrain preparations, no harm in that. Few people say, few school of thoughts say, ki don't eat 2 grains at a time and all. But I think I don't see any problem. Basic Indian cuisine or recipes, they are based on multigrain preparation to balance. We eat dal and rice. Why? Carbohydrates are supported by proteins. And that is why we eat dal and rice. Here itself is to, you can provide, you can actually support, and with collaboration, this is, I call it as collaboration of the grains, and we get all the nutrients from one recipe.
Yes. Who else wants to ask? Okay, wait, I'll just read this. We can have last 2 questions. There are a lot of people suffering from various allergies like nuts, gluten, etc. in the West, whereas in India, we don't seem to have these issues. Why?
No, this is a notion. If you eat nuts in this hot season, in Grishma Rutu and Vasant Rutu, or in Sharad Rutu, when really there is a season of Pitta Prakop, if you try eating kaju every day, handful of kaju and almonds in Sharad Rutu, you will get rashes on your face. To eat something, there wait for a particular season. Summer season or Sharad Rutu and Grishma Rutu, both are for eating fresh fruits. And nuts should be eaten in Hemant Rutu and Shishir Rutu. Wait for the season, nothing will happen. About gluten, many Americans especially, they get gluten allergy because actually they eat refined flour. That is the main reason. Secondly, their wheat is again genetically modified, and that is why they get gluten allergy. That is what they give the explanation. But according to me, many unwanted things are stuffed in their body. 300 ml cans of Coke and all, and such big sizes, giant size burgers and sandwiches. Already a lot of toxins are there inside their body, that anything can give trouble. Why just gluten? Even if they eat extra water, it is going to give them trouble. So moderation is the key. And understand What is the level of moderation for yourself?
Anagha.
त्याच्याबद्दलच विचारायचं होतं की सध्या ते म्हणतात की जास्तीत जास्त ऑर्गॅनिक फूड खा किंवा तुम्ही तळण्यासाठी सुद्धा ते कोल्ड प्रेस घाण्यावरचं जे तेल असतं ते वापरा. तर ते खरंच म्हणजे तेच केलं पाहिजे का?
सांगते मी मॅडम, घाण्यावरचं तेल उत्तम, ऑर्गॅनिक अजूनच उत्तम. माझ्या परसात जर उगवलेली भाजी असेल तर ती सगळ्यात जास्त उत्तम, कारण मला माहितीये की मी त्याच्यात काय खत घातलंय आणि काय केलेलं आहे. पण सध्याची जगाची जी लोकसंख्या आहे त्याला घाण्याचं तेल केटर, त्या अख्ख्या लोकसंख्येला केटर करण्या एवढे तेलाचे घाणे आपल्याकडे आहेत का? तेवढं ऑर्गॅनिक फूड पिकतं का? आणि आयुष्यभर तुम्ही फक्त ते खाऊ शकणार आहात का? याची उत्तरं देऊन आपल्याला किती स्ट्रिंजंट राहायचं हे ठरवायला लागणार आहे. राईट? आणि शेवटी किंमत आणि अवेलेबिलिटी, प्राइस अँड अवेलेबिलिटी, या दोन्ही गोष्टींचा विचार तेवढाच करायला लागतो आपल्याला. मग मी म्हणेन 4 पोळ्या खाण्याऐवजी 2च पोळ्या खा, एवढालं खाण्याऐवजी एवढंच खा, मोठाले सँडविचेस खाण्याऐवजी एकच खा, मुळात कमीच खा, जेवढं गरजेचं आहे तेवढं खा. मग टॉक्सिन्स समजा गेली, आपण एक धरून चालू की रासायनिक खतं वापरल्यामुळे आपल्या शरीरात टॉक्सिन्स गेली, तरी बॉडीला ती हँडल करता यावीत यासाठी कमी खा.
Last one we can have from Deepa.
Hello.
Hi.
Any time, like what is the time to have the last food or something like in the day? So after
I will
that is-
prefer to eat. See, eat when you are hungry. That is thing.
okay.
Second thing, please avoid late night meals. 3 hours before you go to bed, your meal, your dinner should be over.
Okay.
When you go to bed, you should feel lighter. That is the thing. If you can eat before sunset, it will be great. But if you are able to do it, nothing like it. If you can't, just observe that you take light food at night and eat 3 hours, finish your dinner at least 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. Unmute yourself.
Yeah. Another one question is that we should have a different varieties of oil, or whether we can stick to say single oil. What is the oil intake in a day?
I'll tell you, you should use variety of oils, number one, because not a single oil contains all the essential fatty acids. Say fatty acid A, B, C, D, E, F are present in one oil. In the second oil, G, H, I, J, K and A, B, C, D may be present. So you need all the essential oils which you get from oils. That is number one. What was your second question? One oil. Don't stick to one oil. Secondly, there should be change in the oil as per the season. In the hot season, you should not consume sesame oil or the mustard oil because they are hot in nature. Sesame oil should be consumed, or mustard oil should be consumed in rainy season as well as in winters. In this season, you can use coconut oil, you can use ghee, you can use groundnut oil. That is also better, comparatively better. Curdy oil, which is safola, actually is a curdy oil. It is actually not recommended by Ayurveda, though they say it reduces cholesterol. But if you want to use it, don't use it in Sharad Rutu because it increases Pitta. Sunflower oil you can use intermittently, not a single oil continuously, for sure.
Okay. So thank you very much, Jyoti Dai. And I think this was a very a useful session because we all got a lot of practical tips also from her. It was not only about making us understand the Ritu Chakra and Ritu Charya, but also questions like, okay, now we've understood, but what do we do exactly, and what do we follow? So a lot of those queries got answered. So thank you very much, Jyotitai, and we would also like to hear more from you in the coming Yogaarthi sessions on your variety of topics, because I know she will be able to share her knowledge with us on a lot of other topics also. So thank you very much, Jyoti.
Thank you very much, Sucheta, for calling me, for inviting me on this platform. And I thank you everyone for patient listening also, and looking forward to see you all.
Thank you.